back to the show. This year we want to introduce you, or in the case of a couple of the coaches, reintroduce you to some of the assistant coaches. This week, Eric Kiesau back after a stint at Colorado of all schools. In fact, last year he was the offensive coordinator. We get his thoughts about the challenges of coaching and returning to Cal.
Here you go, balls up, let's go to work, let's go. You know, what I really like about coaching is just the interaction with the players, really kind of getting to know them as young men. 2 hours of focus now, 2 hours of focus, let's get better today, huh? 2 hours of focus. The most challenging thing for me, and really for a lot of coaches, is just making that connection with the young man. You want that so bad, and you want to have that relationship with them and push them to as high as they can go and as good as they can be. And when you don't connect with that young man, that's very frustrating because you have good intentions and you want them to trust that you're trying to lead them in the right way. And sometimes you don't always connect, or maybe it takes 2 or 3 years. It takes a little longer than you want it to happen. We're going to try to do things better than we did the day before. Always do something better. You know, obviously trying to work toward progress, improvement, and getting better to reach our full potential.
A year ago, Kiesau was on the opposing sideline as the offensive coordinator for Colorado. Being a coordinator expanded his football resume and gave him a new perspective on the role.
It really it kind of throws you into the fire of understanding the entire picture, how everything matches up, the run game to the pass game to play action to screens, and the details of every position, from the O-line to the running back to everything you're doing. You can't just focus on your group. You've got to now have an entire system or 11 positions on the field, and you have a staff to deal with. It's very different.
Now he's back on the Cal sideline with some inside knowledge of CU and its players, especially quarterback Tyler Hansen.
Well, the first thing I'll say is, you know, being on that staff last year, the game and how it went last year was no reflection of the type of team that we or now they have back in Boulder. I'll definitely stand on the table for that. That was just a fluke game. But, you know, it panned out that way. I would say the one thing, the scheme is going to be very, very different. New coaches, new head coach, new philosophy. I think the one thing that I'll be able to bring in and add would be more on the personnel, the type of people they have and what they can and can't do. Yeah, you know, I think there's a lot of things going right for Tyler Hansen right now. You know, obviously not having that fear of looking over his shoulder. He can just kind of cut loose and go play, and he kind of knows the team's his, and there's no external distractions for him. He can really just kind of cut it loose and know I'm a senior, and he can go out and play. And really, I mean, obviously the Colorado game would be a little different, but I really wish Tyler the best, and I hope he does great things next year, except for that one game.
Well, I asked Eric who were some of his biggest influences in coaching. Obviously, you came up because this is its second stint with you as high school coach, and also Chris Peterson, who was his quarterback coach when Eric was a quarterback at Portland State. Having him back, having been an offensive coordinator, how does that help? Because he's your kind of eye in the sky during the games. He's in the press box.
He's awesome. He really is. He has grown so much as a coach. I entrust him with a lot of things right now. Entrust him with calling plays from the box. We all call them together, but he's really one that I really trust from the box to get that done. Has a lot of great ideas. I'm just really proud of his growth and development, and so happy to have him back on our staff. He's a great re-addition to our staff.
Colorado this week, the Buffaloes lost at Hawaii. That's a tough place to play at any time, but Hawaii's a very good football team, picked to maybe win the conference in the Western Athletic Conference. What can you tell us about Colorado?
Well, it is. It's a tough place to play. Anytime you go to the Rock, it's very difficult to play over there, and Hawaii is very talented. You know, we don't know a lot about Colorado, actually, because they're a new coaching staff, and we don't have any tape except for the Hawaii game, and Hawaii's a spread-out offense. So there's a lot of formations that we don't see or know how they're going to play. So we have to prepare our best for what we think they're going to do. I know they're going to play hard. It's going to be a hostile environment there in Boulder. They're talented. They have some speed outside. Their quarterback's a very good player, so we're going to have to get after him a little bit. But defensively, they run around real well. Very athletic linebackers, and so it's going to be a major challenge going there.
Tyler Hansen, their quarterback, returns from last year. Talked to him at the Pac-12 Media Day. He was very excited about Colorado being in the Pac-12, and he was really anxious to play against Cal again. They felt that was kind of an aberration, as Eric alluded to. Both coaching staffs, ironically, have coaches that were on the opposite staffs a year ago. Steve Marshall is now the offensive line coach over at Colorado. Is there any advantage that staffs have when you have somebody from the other staff the previous year?
Well, maybe on their side, because Steve kind of knows us on offense and kind of practice against our defense. The other way, not real sure. We know what he likes on offense, obviously, but he's not going to help us much on the defensive side, you know, because it's a brand new staff. But you know a little bit about each other, but you know, come game time, really, the players still need to be out there and have to stop it.
All right. Well, good luck over in Boulder, and it'd be nice to come back home for the Presbyterian game 2-0.
Thank you.
All right, head coach Jeff Tedford.